Yo, can you hit an ollie one time?
Yeah. I got that. Wait, hold on. Can I put on your shoes?
Why would you want to?
Because these are vintage.
I don't give a fuck, bro.
I'm not ollieing in my vintage shoes. These are from the 90s, bro.
I'll just give you the one shoe that you... Are you goofy or regular?
Yeah, I'm goofy, yeah.
Alright.
Slap me that.
I don't like how you just ripped those off.
Oh, this shit is so loose, I'm gonna hurt myself. That was pretty good. How do you think working with me differs from working with other artists?
I think working with you is like just kicking it, and making music is like the side part.
Hey.
It's a very honest process.
What do you mean?
Like when we were making 1,000 Girls, for example, you know, I was starting the drums on my computer, and he was kind of jamming on his end, and I had this like vocal sample, and I've never worked with someone that just immediately just tells me like, yo, take that shit out right now.
Someone once said something to me, and it was, if you got to be able to work with people you can say fuck you to. And that meant a lot to me, because I like thought about it for more than 5 seconds, and it's like, when I think about the worst sessions I've ever had, it's always when I'm in a room and someone plays something, and I'm just like, in the back of my head I'm giggling, like, bro, like, are you serious? And like, when you have that comfortability with the other person, you can be like, okay, that's not it, but I trust your creativity and we can get there, but we gotta both put our ego aside and be like, okay, what are we actually going for here?
Yeah.
You know?
Agreed.
And I feel like that's the space that I aim to create, you know, and I really like working with people who really have their own swag, who really don't cater to me. That's honestly my favorite thing too. Like, I want to work with people who are the absolute best at what they do and don't really cater, and then I can kind of just, you know, pick and choose what I see as their genius, if that makes sense. I'm gonna put right here the audio, the original drum loop that you sent me, because it sounds very different than the finished one.
I was telling Harrison, like, yo, I hear you do all this singy shit. I always hear you do the melodic shit. Like, I want to hear you on some turn. Like, I don't know if it was Black Skinhead or On Site.
It was On Site.
It was On Site. And I was like, yo, we should just make like a dark ass banger, like a turn ass banger, because I know you could do it. And obviously the song kind of took its own direction, but like that was originally like when I started with those drums and like all the distorted elements, like it was very much like trying to go for that Yeezus vibe, and then yeah, we kind of just made it our own thing. There we go. All right, so we got that voice memo type of thing, and then we got this stomp right here. And then I added like this tom fill. And then just some more like percussion shit. If you listen to that little like snare only comes in like the first half of the drum. So like he was saying before, but like this whole entire song is just like one half. The first half of the section is completely different than the second half. Like it's a total call and response type thing.
The whole song in every element and in every way.
And then Harrison added this 808 and this kick. It's really just like a drum and bass song.
Really is. So you have that, one little synth note. Like that's what it sounded like.
I remember when we were cooking up and you did the whole harmony thing with like making chords with your voice, and I was always kind of just so like, how the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just want to see how you did it.
Yeah, I mean.
So is that just you doing all these different notes, or are you doing it in the blocks, or how are you doing it?
I just sing. I just heard that melody that like that was just a melody I had in my head. I sang it. I sing it once, and then I harmonized with it. And that's really it. Like, it's not really, a lot of the stuff isn't really thought out. So even the audio of the vocals, the little inconsistencies of it, and the way that a note might carry on to the next bar just a little bit, it's just what makes it sound, like, alive. You know? The verse is like the first time you really hear chords in a consecutive manner. We got just this piano. And then just ambience guitars. Which was really like the combination of Bruce Springsteen and, which I was listening to Born to Run at the time, and then all these futuristic music, like bringing the Americana to these Kanye Yeezus drums. And I think what's really cool about this song is kind of like, the whole thing is like a calm response, right? It's like, first half of the hook, no drums, second half of the hook, drums, and there's kind of like no chords, but then like chords, and then the last chorus was like, I think the last thing that happened. It was the biggest change in the whole song.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, let me just do this kind of as like an acoustic section.
No drums, just pianos, yeah.
Yeah. Which sounds like this. And then we took the B section chords and threw them on the same melody as the chorus.
Shout out to Grant for his sax too, because I think it just took us so much.
I mean, the saxophone is like...
Y'all did this, so what was the process for that?
Okay, so the same Echo, I have this vintage Roland Echo, and that's what I use to distort the guitars. I just crank the preamp and turn the Echo off, so that's what all the guitars are running through. But for that, we had one mic that was going to the Echo, and one mic that was dry, and then, yeah, it was either the Echo or it was the normal one, and then...
So you just took bits and pieces from each one?
And then we just put the harmonizer on the sax. This is a combination of Bon Iver and Bruce Springsteen and Kanye West, and
I think that's what's so exciting about a song like this is you play it for someone, it's like there's no certain one thing that they can point to and be like, this is a song that sounds like this. When you were writing this song, was there like specific things that you wanted to talk about? Was there a certain message you were trying to get across? I mean, if you've heard the song, you know what it's about, but like, how did you get to that point?
I mean, the whole project's about love. I think that I just have a unique experience or just mindset when it comes to relationships, because I'm just not a perfectionist. And I feel like a lot of people are very perfectionist to where they're young and they're in a relationship and they're like, okay, these 2-3 things are wrong, and I'm going to go and find someone that fixes those 2-3 things. And in my experience, it's like you go do that and then there's 5 new things that are fucked up.
Yeah.
And really what this song was about was maybe it's just better to accept 2-3 things that are bad and fix them and work on growing things. Because if there's love, you got to treasure it. And that's really what I'm talking about, you know? It's just love.